The new residential rental property, NRRP, rebate allows landlords and builders to recover a portion of the goods and services tax, GST, or harmonized sales tax, HST, paid on a newly constructed or substantially renovated rental property in Canada. There are two types of NRRP rebates depending on the property type. The standard NRRP rebate, for individual units like condos, houses, duplexes, or triplexes. The enhanced purpose-built rental housing, PBRH rebate, an increased temporary rebate for qualifying multi-unit buildings, including conversions of non-residential buildings. Standard NRRP rebate, eligibility. You may qualify for this rebate if you are a landlord who purchased or built a new or substantially renovated residential rental property for long-term use. A substantial renovation typically means at least 90% of the interior has been removed or replaced. The property must also meet the following criteria. Long-term rentals. The unit must be intended for long-term use, generally requiring a lease agreement of at least 1 year. Short-term rentals like Airbnb are not eligible. Fair market value, FMV. For most residential units, the FMV must be less than $450,000 to be eligible for the federal portion of the rebate. Not for personal use. The rebate is for investment properties, not for a residence you or a relative will occupy. Rebate amount. The rebate is a percentage of the GST or federal portion of the HST paid, but the amount is subject to phase-out rules. For units with an FMV of $350,000 or less, the rebate is 36% of the federal portion, up to a maximum of $6,300. For units with an FMV between $350,000 and $450,000, the rebate is gradually reduced. For units with an FMV of $450,000 or more, there is no federal rebate. Provinces with HST may offer an additional provincial rebate. In Ontario, for example, a rebate of up to $24,000 is available regardless of the property's fair market value. Enhanced PBRH rebate. Eligibility. The enhanced PBRH rebate was introduced to encourage the development of new, long-term purpose-built rental housing. To qualify, the property must meet all of the standard NRRP eligibility criteria and additional conditions. Construction start date. Construction must have started after September 13, 2023 and before 2031. Substantial completion date. Construction must be substantially completed before 2036. Building size. The building must contain at least 4 self-contained residential units or at least 10 residential units. Long-term rental use. At least 90% of the residential units must be held for long-term residential rental. Ineligible properties for the PBRH rebate. The PBRH rebate does not apply to single-unit housing, individually owned condominium units, duplexes, or triplexes. These properties may still be eligible for the standard NRRP rebate. How to apply for the rebate. Collect your documents. Gather the purchase and sale agreement, the statement of adjustments showing the GST/HST paid, and a copy of the 1-year lease agreement. Complete the forms. Fill out the federal form, GST 524, GST/HST New Residential Rental Property Rebate Application. If your property is in a participating province, Ontario, Nova Scotia, or Newfoundland and Labrador, you must also complete the appropriate provincial rebate schedule. File your application. Submit your completed application and supporting documents to the Canada Revenue Agency, CRA, within 2 years of the date the property was substantially completed or tax was payable. Wait for processing. The CRA typically takes a few months to process rebate applications. You can file online through the CRA's My Business account or My Account portal. Common mistakes to avoid. Mixing up rebates. Do not confuse the NRRP rebate with the new housing rebate, which is for properties used as a primary residence. You must apply for the correct rebate for the property's intended use. Incomplete documentation. Make sure all required documents are included with your application. Incorrect or missing information can cause delays or denial of your claim. Missing deadlines. The application must be filed within 2 years of the closing date. Applying late can lead to denial. Renting to short-term tenants. Using the property for short-term rentals, such as through Airbnb, will disqualify you from the rebate. Like our contents, follow, like, share, and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching.